this is a public meeting, I'm gonna fish for it, open it up to the public as well.
We're going to try to get as many questions answered as we possibly can. Now, when we originally were asked to apply for the grant, which is in essence the time of your team down here, all of our questions had to do with, we're a service organization as a city. Department of Neighborhoods really should be the ultimate service organization. It is I guess the point of the spear, however you want to say it, that citizens can interact. And when I pushed for the creation of the Department of Neighborhoods, it was designed to house the integration of those entities within the city that most directly impacted citizens that weren't specifically public safety related. But at the same time, they were charged with being problem solvers. I don't want to go back and mow the 3-foot-high grass in your fictitious account month after month. I want to find out why the grass is high and solve the problem. So the challenge was, don't just write a citation, don't just address the issue, solve the issue. You're saying, I think, that in order to do that, we have to do a better job of analytics. We have to do a better job of tracking what the problems are, and we have to do a better job of communicating both internally and externally in order to be able to meet that mission.
Yeah, that is correct. I mean, I actually add an additional word there, collaborate is another word that I would use. So communication is one thing, but working together to connect individuals with other individuals that can help each other, right? Whether it's internally within your department to say, oh, well, I've heard about this over and over. I haven't been able to solve this. Let's collaborate on this and figure out a way to address it. I believe Kelly talked very early on about and getting the super neighborhoods also to collaborate and share some of their information. This came up in our discussion with the Super Neighborhoods Alliance meeting that we went to. Getting these guys to talk together and getting them to give them a way to collaborate and see some of the common themes or problems. So in the end, you're not in this alone, right? You have a way to just say, I've seen this movie before. It's been solved this way in this super neighborhood, for example. Why don't we see if we can adopt it in our super neighborhood or even our individual block?
A lot of these things on your slide, and if we could have the slide back where you recommended involve technology.
Yes.
And as you indicated, some of these things are already in process. I mean, the data warehouse, trying to get that, create the My Houston Flow, try to get that the proper interface for citizens. Of course, in your example, that citizen actually doesn't have access to the internet. Their primary point of contact is going to be at the end of either telephone or at a civic association.
Correct.
So you're not offering a technological solution.
Not for that example, and that came up in our Super Neighborhood Alliance discussion actually about all of the different ways that people have to communicate with the city. Right? Some of the young whippersnappers like myself will pick up my iPhone and use it. Right? But we have an older population that may not be comfortable with that. Your 311 strategy is going to be key here. Right? 311 is the way that you want people to be able to pick up the phone and call and log a case that you mentioned before. Right?
To go in some way, either on the phone or electronically to the...
Exactly. Yep. So I mean, to Kelly's point, with the rotary dial phone in this Ward 6, I think is what it was, may need to pick up the phone and call, right? But also being able to connect people through their civic organizations to try to work that way as well. But you're right, there may not be an end-all be-all technology solution that will work for everybody. You have to really look at all the possible channels.
So we'll certainly open this up to council members, but I guess a last question. is there an area here that was in our blind spot that we weren't in some way working on?
In a blind spot. The awareness campaign certainly was a little surprising to me personally as a marketer. I think some of the other members of the team might have been surprised at some of the lack of knowledge out there. Knowing that there are communication streams going on, and this is a new division, it's like a new product, right? We've got to maintain that. I think there was a little bit of a blind spot there. A social collaboration environment, so think about being able to interact online. We didn't stumble across any initiatives specifically focused on that, but it's a topic that came up with your partners, super neighborhoods, and your Department of Neighborhoods at finding a better way to collaborate online. Didn't hear anything about initiatives there, but it really became evident that that was going to be a good way for some of the more technology savvy people to actually collaborate in a better manner. Not a huge blind spot, but just something that